Dear Emotional Connections friend, our program is on the Emotional Connections YouTube channel every Tuesday and Saturday evening. Don't miss out. I wish you all faith, hope, and results in this new week. Why these three? Faith is the foundation. Without it, how can we achieve anything? We must at least believe in positive things. Believing in negative will only drag us down. After comes faith, hope. Hope is looking ahead and towards a bright future. But faith and hope alone are not enough. We must strive, persevere, stay strong, and persist to achieve results. That's all I want to wish you. This piece is short and sweet, but it doesn't mean I've run out of things to say. Time flies when you're having fun. Now, back to our main topic. Today, I bring you a ray of light, a glimmer amidst the shadows of life. This light can appear even in the darkest places, in tunnels that seem to have no end. To see that light, you need the right mindset. The good news is that mindset is easy to attain. Let me give you an example. Imagine I give you a text written in Arabic. Can you read it? A few can, but most cannot. Suppose this text contains vital information, like a secret martial arts manual that could change your life. You desperately want to know its contents, but need to learn Arabic. What do? The answer is simple. If you want to read it, you must learn Arabic. Life is the same. Our dead ends, fatigue, and failures stem from what we don't know. That Arabic text is just a metaphor for the millions of things we don't know. If you know, you can do it. If you don't know, you can't. And once you know, you'll never think or act the same way as when you didn't know. Remember how difficult it was before you were good at English? How confused and lost do you feel? But once you mastered English, did you still face those same difficulties? Likewise, we see things we couldn't see before as our understanding grows. We make better decisions, avoid past mistakes, and achieve results we never thought possible. So, instead of lamenting failures, focus on learning and gaining knowledge. Turn don't know into know. You'll see life from an entirely new perspective when your understanding expands. Now, let me share a personal story. It's a small, simple story, but it holds a profound lesson about the power of knowledge. I used to have a silly habit. I never wore a jacket or a mask when going out in the midday sun. I loved the feeling of freedom and comfort. Despite advice from my loved ones, I stubbornly did things my way. I wouldn't say I liked the feeling of constraint and discomfort that came with wearing a mask. But later, as I started reading and learning more about health, I realized how foolish I had been. I read that UV rays from the sun can harm the skin, causing dark spots, freckles, and even skin cancer. Dust and pollution on the roads can also lead to respiratory diseases. I was shocked. How could I have been so careless? Why didn't I protect myself? And so, I changed. I always carry a mask in my backpack and always remember to wear a jacket when going out in the sun. It was a small change, but it taught me an invaluable lesson. Knowledge can change lives. When we know more, we act more wisely. We know how to protect ourselves, care for our health, and live better. And to gain knowledge, we must never stop learning. Learning is a lifelong journey. It helps us grow, broaden our horizons, and become better versions of ourselves. Education is the key to a brighter future for both individuals and society as a whole. I remember being deeply fascinated by financial theories and investment strategies. I devoured classic books, joined online forums, and engaged in lively debates with like-minded individuals. I was confident that I had grasped the fundamental principles, could read the market, and made smart investment decisions. But then, reality delivered a harsh lesson. My initial investment decisions almost always failed. I lost money, and I lost faith in myself. I began to doubt the knowledge I had accumulated with my ability to analyze and make sound judgments. I felt like a lost ship in a vast ocean, unsure where to go. Then, I realized that theoretical knowledge alone was not enough. To succeed in investing, one needs practical experience and the ability to observe, analyze, and accurately assess each situation. I started changing my approach. I didn't just read books. I spent more time observing the market, researching companies, and learning from successful investors. I also learned to manage my emotions, avoiding the influence of greed or fear on my investment decisions. Gradually, I regained my confidence and achieved some success. The investment path is a long journey requiring perseverance, patience, and continuous learning. Self-awareness and knowledge are the reliable compasses that guide us on that journey and keep us steady on our chosen path. And the story of the face mask, the fine dust, the UV rays, it's just one small example of the countless things I've learned from books, from life itself. I've realized that knowledge is more than dry theories, numbers, or formulas. It's about understanding ourselves, the world, and the laws governing nature and life. Knowledge helps us better understand our strengths, weaknesses, and limitations. From that foundation, we can make informed choices and wise decisions in life. Knowledge also broadens our perspectives, allowing us to see things objectively and from multiple angles. We're no longer trapped in biases and narrow-minded views. We can empathize with and understand different perspectives. Thanks to knowledge, we can overcome challenges and trials in life. We gain confidence and courage to face the uncertainties and surprises that life throws our way. Most importantly, knowledge empowers us to live more meaningful lives. We learn to use our time, energy, and talents effectively to create sound for ourselves and society. Knowledge is a priceless treasure. It's the key to wisdom, helping us reach new heights in life. So, always be eager to learn, explore, discover, and cultivate knowledge. Make learning a habit and a passion in life. Because only knowledge can help us grow, improve ourselves, and live a life worth living. And speaking of knowledge, I want to mention another crucial aspect, the power of communication. We communicate with many people, from family and friends to colleagues and strangers. Each interaction is an opportunity to share, connect, and learn. However, communication is also an art, requiring tact and finesse. Regardless of the other person's feelings, we can't always say exactly what we think. I used to be very blunt. I often said what I thought without much consideration for others' feelings, which caused me a lot of trouble in my relationships. I remember having a heated argument with a friend over a different opinion. I thought I was right and stubbornly defended my point of view, refusing to listen to my friend's perspective. As a result, we had a big fight, and our relationship has been strained ever since. Later, as I matured, I realized that communication is not just about expressing our thoughts, but also about listening, understanding, and respecting the views of others. I learned to control my emotions and express my opinions more gently and tactfully. I also learned to put myself in others' shoes to understand their thoughts and feelings better. As a result, my communication skills have improved significantly. I can talk to people more comfortably and confidently. I have also built many excellent relationships. I realized communication is about conveying information, connecting with others, sharing values, and spreading love. I've also learned that silence can sometimes be more powerful than words in communication. There are moments when we don't need to voice every thought. We can forge deep connections by simply listening, observing, and understanding. I recall a friend confiding in me, sharing her loneliness and uncertainty about life. She felt lost and didn't know where to turn for support. I listened without interrupting or judging. I offered my presence, a shoulder to lean on, and a comforting embrace. And it was remarkable how much lighter she felt after unburdening her heart. She shared that simply having someone listen made her feel comforted and encouraged. That's when I realized that sometimes our presence matters more than the words we say. By genuinely caring and listening, we can bring joy and solace to others. Beyond words, body language also plays a vital role in communication. A friendly smile, a nod of agreement, a firm handshake. These can convey positive messages to the person we're interacting with. So, always be mindful of your body language. Maintain a confident posture, make friendly eye contact, and smile warmly. This will help you create a positive impression and build stronger relationships. Ultimately, communication is an essential life skill. It's not just about conveying information, it's about connecting with the world, building relationships, and making a positive impact. Always strive to refine your communication skills. They are the key to unlocking countless opportunities and paving the way for success in life. Now, let's focus on another captivating and crucial aspect of life: navigating differing perspectives. Have you ever felt irritated or frustrated when someone disagrees with your viewpoint? Surely you have. We've all experienced that feeling. When we strongly believe in something, we defend our perspective, regardless of what others think. When our views are challenged, it's easy to feel offended or hurt. I used to be the same way. I was sensitive to criticism and opposing opinions. I often tried to defend my viewpoint at all costs, even if it meant damaging essential relationships. But then, I realized that stubbornly defending my viewpoint only led to exhaustion and isolation. It didn't help me grow. It only made me more self-centered and less tolerant. I began learning to listen to different perspectives. Even if I didn't initially agree with them, I tried to understand their reasoning and identify the common ground and differences between my viewpoint and theirs. I also learned to express my perspective more gently and respectfully, avoiding conflict or offending others. And I discovered that we learn so many new things when we open our minds to different perspectives. We gain a more nuanced view of life and become more tolerant and understanding of those around us. Sometimes, we don't need to determine who's right or wrong in every situation. What matters is that we respect differences and find common ground to connect. Every encounter, every conversation is an opportunity for learning and growth. When we engage with diverse viewpoints, we gain the chance to see things from different angles, expanding our understanding. And sometimes, those differing perspectives can catalyze personal change and improvement. They help us recognize blind spots and shortcomings we may have been unaware of. A friend once suggested I should be more patient when listening to others. Initially, I felt slightly annoyed because I considered myself a good listener, but then I took the time to reflect on their feedback and realized they were right. I often interrupted others and stubbornly defended my own opinions. I decided to change. I focused more on listening, striving to understand what others were saying before expressing my views, and I was truly surprised by the positive changes it brought. I became more patient, understanding, and able to connect with others more deeply. Being open to different perspectives is a way to grow, broaden our understanding, and live a more prosperous, meaningful life. So, don't be afraid to embrace differing opinions. See them as opportunities to learn, grow, and improve yourself. And sometimes, it's in those passionate debates that we uncover fresh ideas and unique perspectives we hadn't considered before. I remember participating in a discussion about what is happiness. Everyone had their views and understanding of happiness. Some believed happiness was about wealth and fame. Others found it in a loving family and close relationships. Still, others found happiness in contributing to society and helping those less fortunate. During that discussion, I debated with a friend about the idea that happiness is living authentically. My friend argued that this view was selfish, focusing solely on individual feelings without considering responsibilities to family and society. At first, I felt a bit irritated, but then I calmed down and listened to my friend's reasoning. I realized they had some valid points. That debate prompted me to think more deeply about happiness. I realized it's not just about living authentically, but also about finding a balance between our individual needs and our responsibilities to the community. That's the value of debates. They help us broaden our perspectives, see things holistically, and improve ourselves. So, don't shy away from debates. See them as opportunities to learn, exchange ideas, and grow together. I also want to share a little secret I've learned. In communicating with people with different views, try to find common ground instead of focusing solely on differences. Building rapport and connection with the other person is more leisurely when we find common ground, making the conversation more open and friendly. For example, instead of stubbornly defending our viewpoint when debating an issue, we could say, "I understand your perspective. I also agree with you that. However, I think that." This approach shows that we've listened to and respected the other person's viewpoint while clearly expressing ourselves. It helps avoid conflict and allows for a more positive and productive conversation. And in some cases, when we realize our viewpoint isn't entirely accurate, let's be courageous enough to admit it. Don't hesitate to say, "Thank you for sharing. I'll think more about this." Admitting mistakes is challenging, but it shows that we are open-minded, willing to learn, and always ready to change, which only earns us more respect from others. Remember, the goal of communication is not to argue, but to better understand each other. When we know how to listen, share, and respect differences, we can build more meaningful and fulfilling relationships.